Well. Fancy seeing you here. Happy friggin' Wednesday, everybody. It's hump day. It's 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and you know what that means. That means it's time to Spartan kick the like button. Doing so sends tiny little robots into YouTube's algorithm and says, you know what? People might want to watch this. Maybe. I don't know. The YouTube algorithm has not been kind to me lately. So, if you would be so kind, smash the like button on the way in, guys. I've had a hell of a week. It has been a hell of a week at my regular day job. I've been busy. I've been working overtime, but I'm salaried, which means that it's basically free labor. Shout out to all my salaried peeps out there. I'm sure you guys can relate. What have I been up to? Been releasing some episodes. Released one earlier. Yeah. If you want to know my thoughts on this guy, this was in my pocket today. This is the Vostede Shillen Cutter. Why they didn't just call it the Vancor Lock Nightshade, I have no idea. Imagine for a second, Chris Reeve comes out with a knife and they're like, you know what? We're going to call this one the Drop Point. What? I was thinking about that earlier today. Like, Vostede, they just got tired. They're like, you know what? We'll just name it after its blade shape. Really cool knife. Love this knife. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out the review for that. It is officially out. I've got more stuff on the way. Will it be good? Will it be picked up by the algorithm, or will like nobody see it? I have no idea. It's been a week though. We're going to go ahead and end the monologue there and get into the chat. Shout out to the first person I see in the chat, Mr. Henry G. Marco, not far behind him. Good to see you, Marco. Thanks for being a channel member. We got Charles Wooden in the house. What's up, Charles? Steve Sweeney. Good to see you, man. We got Ian Coates. Ian says, did Roll delete my chat? No. I spend the time before the stream setting up the stream. I have not, nor have I ever deleted live stream chats. It's a fun fact about me. I'm not even necessarily sure how I would do that. I have seen other people in moderator positions do that, and I also have seen it where if you leave a chat like before the live stream starts, sometimes it doesn't pick it up once the live stream starts. But no, I did not in fact delete your chat. Nope. I would agree with you. Censorship does suck, but no, I did not delete your chat. What's up, Jim Miller? Jim. Good to see you, Jim. Thanks for being a channel mod. Welcome into Ed B. We got Vavelsky. We've got, I'm going to go down the list. Hold on. Ace Payload in the house says lurking with the dog. Perfect. We're back at our regular time. The last live stream I did it early, and I'll confess, I'm weak, okay? I'm weak because I wanted to watch my Lakers play in the NBA playoffs because it's the first time in many, many years that we haven't had to go through the play-in tournament. Now, it's taboo to talk about sports on social media unless that's what your social media is about. The three no-nos. You don't talk about sports, you don't talk about religion, and you don't talk about politics. If you can avoid those, then you're good. But I think some people were asking, you know, what team does Rollshambo follow? It's the Lakers. I've been a Lakers fan my entire life. For some of you, that's a deal breaker. I'll watch the subscription number fall after this live stream, I'm sure, but huge Lakers fan. I frequently throughout the season pick the live stream over watching the game, and I just watch the highlights afterwards. But it's the first time in years that we haven't had to go through the play-in. So that's why. That's why the live stream was early. And I wanted to try it out. I haven't had an earlier live stream like that in a while. Not since I started doing the Saturday lives. Because I used to try doing Saturday lives at like 1 p.m. That was a fail. It was so bad. And for the longest, I couldn't figure, like, why does nobody want to watch my live stream Saturday afternoon? I don't understand. And then my wife told me, she said, it's because people have shit to do. So here we are. Live streams at 8 Mountain Time. What's up, the Ponds? Thanks for being a channel member. Welcome into the Ex-Sailor. Good to see you, man. Ian believes that it's me. And they actually haven't landed a man on the moon. That was all staged in Hollywood. Welcome into Lone Star Talboy. It says the carry of the day is the microtech Arbiter. Not measured in ounces, but by the pound. It was a gift. The microtech Arbiter. I'm not familiar with that one. I'm going to pull it up here on the side just so I can see. Microtech Arbiter. Okay, I'll do a quick screen share for those who are confused like me. That is a big old fixed blade. Look at that. I like that. It's got a bit of a recurve to it. Very nice. Yeah, I'd never seen that before. I do like microtech. Never seen that before. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing. We're going to go back to, hold on, B Devious. What's up, man? Thanks for being a channel member. Good to see you. Welcome in. The chat is jumping. Hold on. All right. I'm trying to see if I got everybody. Hey, there he is. There's John Tagamori. Welcome in, man. Good to see you. Welcome into Imbal. He says, still want to try out one of their top liner locks. For Vosteed, yeah. Oh, you've got to. Vosteed makes some of the most recommendable everyday carry knives that I can think of. They really, truly do. Their quality has gotten better and better and better. And every time I think that they can't improve, in some small way, they do. It's funny because people will approach me and they'll be like, well, how can you give an unbiased opinion? Oh, my opinion is biased. My opinion is so biased that even though they send me stuff to review, I still get in on the drops and spend my own money. I can't help it. I like what I like. Their top liner lock is excellent. It's finger safe. It's easy to manipulate. It's fun to manipulate. And they're just a very good quality. They're also one of the few companies that does a really good job of listening to the audience, except for one thing, and that is going to be that they do a majority of their knives in like the 6.5 to 7 inch range. And right now everyone's like, give me an 8-inch knife. 8 inches or not at all. It's like, well, you know who's measuring. Regardless, if you want to try out one of their top liner locks, they have some that are not terribly expensive. The one that I can think would be super recommendable would be something like a Vosteed Raccoon. You'll be spending somewhere in the range of what, 50, 60 bucks? And it's a really good knife. Another good one would be the Vosteed Hedgehog, if you can find them in stock. A lot of their top liner locks sell out really quickly. But if you want to try one, I would say start with a Raccoon. You cannot go wrong with that. Shout out to the Ponds, who's been a channel member for 8 months. Thank you so much for being a Spartan for 8 months. The Ponds. Give it up for the Ponds, guys. All right. I know I'm far behind on the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Hold on. Ian, thank you so much for the $5 super. He says, you heard it, guys. This guy loves basketball more than us. Friends don't make friends choose. And for the record, the funny thing about that, here's the funny thing about that. I thought I was being slick, right? By moving the live stream back about an hour and a half. Because when I checked the schedule, it said game is at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And it was. Tuesday's game. Tuesday's game was at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The funny thing was that the game was for Saturday was actually at 6:30, which is when I decided to have the live stream, thinking that I could be a fat boy who loves cake and have both pieces of cake. No, I caught the second half of the game, though. It was fine. Thanks for the $5 super, Ian. Welcome into Brown Sugar. Welcome into Revolving Blades. Thanks for being a channel member. Good to see you. B. Devious says, La Baby equals Lakers. So I'm an old school Lakers fan. When I say old school, I mean by today's standards. I still remember a time when we fielded Ryan Kelly and Tariq Black and like a rookie Jordan Clarkson. I'm a Kobe fan. Loved his work ethic, his competitive nature. And I was the biggest LeBron hater for the longest time. And then he came to the Lakers. I was like, you know what? I'll start accepting LeBron when he wins us a championship. And then he did. It's like, well, I guess he's all right. I'm breaking my rule. You're not supposed to talk about sports, politics, or religion. All right. Ed B says hockey is where it's at. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. We don't have any good hockey where I'm from. It's a shame. It is a shame. Welcome into Cat Scratch. Good to see you. Hold on. Nick Travellini, what's up, man? Good to see you. Ian says Arbiter, like the nemesis of Master Chief. I also thought about Halo. Like, is it a laser sword? Ian says people have this thing called work, Roll. Yeah, I know. I've got the channel. I've got my side hustle. I've got my day job. I know all about it. Ed B says, I've driven in the South. Everyone is a NASCAR driver. You mean they can only turn one way? Everyone drives in a circle? Welcome into Wicked Dreams. Good to see you, man. All right. Shout out to Nick T for being a Spartan for 8 months. This is Sparta! He says, sorry, Pons. I am 8 months and 1 day. The one-upsmanship. I'll allow it. But yeah, guys, if I seem tired, it's because I am very tired. But we're doing it live anyways. Why not? All right. Days D, welcome in, dude. Good to see you. Ian says, Roll's got his side hustle and side piece. You know, depending upon who you ask in my family, the channel is the side piece. All right. Welcome into Emery Austin says, I'm not a big conventional sports guy, but love to go see Muay Thai, MMA. Amateur is a lot of fun to watch. Oh, yeah. Oh man, look, it's MMA is so technical that often I get lost in understanding what they're doing. I like the lightweight matches more than the heavyweight matches personally. I don't follow MMA religiously, but anytime I get an opportunity to watch some, it's always good. It's always good time. Welcome into Geoknife. Geoknife in the house. Yeah. You want to talk about a company coming out with extremely good value? It's on my desk. This was not planned. The Geoknife Ethereal Cutter is an incredible value. And this is one of those knives that I find being highly recommendable. The Geoknife Ethereal Cutter. You get Damascus, you get M390, you get milled titanium, 3D milled titanium pocket clip, reversible. It's got the, you know what? They did something I really like on this knife. You see it? The filler tab right there is milled, so it's kind of hidden. You would never guess. If I just held this back like this, you'd never guess that there's a filler tab there, but you can actually switch the pocket clip over. That's awesome. I really like the way that you guys did that. Geoknife, you make a good product. Good to see you. Thanks for contributing to the community. And guys, if you want to watch my video on it, I did that fairly recently. Go find it if you haven't watched it. All right. Did I say hi to Sever7? What's up, Sever? Good to see you, man. Welcome into Fred the Lug, Andrew Lyons, Jay Korskin, another channel member in the house. Does anyone buy one of the mother of pearl Militas that dropped at 10 p.m.? Aren't those like the $400 Militas? That's an egregious price. I mean, I get it. I get it. Like, they're really nice, but $400. $400 for a Militaw. Short answer, I did not. I don't know who did, but I'm sure it's a very, very nice knife. Emery Austin says, to answer one knife, Herman. Yeah, so Emery is actually responding to the title of the live stream, which is, if you could have one knife right now, if you could get any knife, what would it be? I was thinking about this recently. There's been some really, really, really good bangers that have dropped recently. The new Protean Harpoon Warncliffe, that's awesome. I want one of those, but they're like, you know, $800, $900, and they sell out because they're super small batch. Rob Johnson's Cedar, that would be another one that I would probably go for. There's a company that I recently found out about called Neely Knife and Tool. USA Made Blade is their only authorized dealer. This guy makes small batch customs, or CNC customs. I guess, I don't know. You know what? I'll just show you guys. Hold on. We may have shown this on a previous live stream, but whatever. We'll do this. NKT Hydra. They're called the Hydra. And I'll pull it up here on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The NKT Hydra. Wow. Apparently there's one on Blade Bench. How much do they want for it? Oh, this item is no longer available. That's a bummer. I got excited there for a second. But these are really cool. Really, really cool. This guy's a one-man operation, small batch. And the moment people found out about these sold out on USA Made Blade like nobody's business. And these are, you know, high 600s, high 600s to low 800s, which for American made, you know, custom or even semi-custom, CNC custom, whatever you want to call it, is actually, it's kind of par for the course. But these are really cool. I'm keeping my eyes out for one of these. The Neely Knife and Tool Custom Hydra. Looks fantastic. Hey, shout out to Laid Off P, who's been a channel member for 5 months. Says almost missed it. Not today, baby. Not today. Fred says the custom American Ultimatum would be my one and only. Ooh, I haven't seen one of those. Like, I've seen them. I haven't seen them available. Do you just have to buy them directly from Kurt American? You might have to. The Kurt American Ultimatum is a fantastic looking knife. American Custom Ultimatum. Let's see. Like, I've checked out the mini Ultimatum. Let's see if we can find I think this one is one of the customs. It's a custom mini Ultimatum. How much did it sell for? We don't know. They deleted the price. But look at that. That's gorgeous. That might be a bit much for people. It might be a bit much for people, but yeah. Even the production version, though. The production version is pretty sweet. Can you still buy them? Let me see. The last time I saw one of their regular productions, I think American Edge probably has some. Mini Ultimatum. Do they still have some? Hey, they do. And this is with the Techno Carbon. Excuse me. Reverse fat carbon fiber. I thought they had some with the Techno Carbo, but I might be wrong. It's a very, very aggressive blade. The one that I was thinking of, what's it called? Patriot Knife Works. They've got a different version over at Patriot Knife Works. Mini Ultimatum. And these were on sale for a minute too. American. They must have sold out. Yep, they sold out. They had a different version than everyone else got that was pretty cool. Not surprised that they're gone. Oh well. The Pond says something with an Insingo blade. Ooh, Sabenza might be in your future. Jay says my money is going to a downdraft. I actually could get 2 downdrafts for the price of the Militov. Hey, there you go. Shout out to Tempest Knives. Welcome into Sierra Rick. Good to see you, man. John would go with the GT Knives Spear Tack. GT Knives Spear Tack. I'm not familiar with that one. Grind Tactical. All right, we'll pull it up here on the screen share. It's in French, of course. I don't speak French. Spear Tack Recurve. Ooh. That's aggressive. I like that. How much did it sell for? We don't know because they removed the price. That's a tough one. Hey, shout out to TC Blades for the $5 super.
Keep the change.
Says Herman, as far as high-end precision, but geoethereal is the best value. Oh, easily. And you know, I knew when I said that. I knew when I titled the video and when I made the thumbnail that I was going to get some dissidents in the comment section. Like, no, it's not that impressive. It's not that good. Blah. Sure enough, I got those comments. Like, whatever, it's not that serious. But one guy was like, well, I mean, I can get these Arcform knives for around the same price or for $75 more, and I think that's a better value. I'm like, Arcform is defunct. You can't compare a brand new knife from you can't compare a brand new release to something that's on a fire sale because the company went out of business. You can't. I mean, does that mean that those other knives that might be on sale because they're 3 years old and heavily discounted because nobody is buying them anymore, does that mean that they're not a good value? No. Of course they're a good value. They're on sale. But as far as new knives are concerned, readily available, the Ethereal Cutter is an incredible option. And you can get it in all price ranges. You can get an M390 at like $50 if you go with the G10 version. Maybe it's a little bit more. For titanium, Damascus pivot collars, great milling, good action, really good build quality. $125 on this is a absolute steal. I can't think of a better value in new knives right now. Fred says you have to win a lottery to get a mini ultimatum or buy on the secondary. Makes sense. Hey, good to see you, Tom. What's up, man? He says, for you lefties, Mini Sweeney drops tomorrow at 11 Eastern. A lefty version will be in the mix. There you go. Ian says, if I could have any knife, it would be a Cessna 172. Is that an airplane? I feel like that's an airplane. Cessna make knives? I feel dumb searching this because I know it's got to be an airplane. Of course it's an airplane. Damn it, Ian. I knew it was going to happen. This is an example. Like, obviously I don't censor my chat. Obviously. Fred says, usually around 3K if it's dressed up. Mine is dressy but subtle. I put it on pocket check for you. Ooh. You can't threaten me with a good time. I'm just going to go down to the very bottom because I got to see this. We'll get to the pocket check here in a second, guys. There it is. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to clear your chat so that we can see the full picture. That is gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. And that's not the production. That's the custom. It looks comfortable. I like the fact that it's a custom with a blind screwed pocket clip. Everything on the blade looks precise. It's technically a tanto, right? Because there's two distinct edges. Yeah, that's really nice. Thanks for sharing, Fred. We're going to get to the pocket check here in a little bit, guys. In a little bit. But we're not quite there yet. B.V. says, I wish I owned a Herman knife, but for my collection, it's definitely skiff-made blades. Ooh, that's a good choice. You know, there's been a lot of focus around Herman lately, and they've always been kind of up there as one of the upper echelon production level knives. But lately, specifically, there's been a huge push behind the Herman brand. And I've heard some people say that they just, like, they get it in hand and they're actually a little disappointed. And then I've seen some people, like, who told me? But was it Sharif Manganis? He told me, he was like, yeah, I put one through a car bumper. Here's a $1,000 knife. Let's test its efficacy against this 1989 Honda Civic. Apparently, he told me it held up. So if there is a testament to a knife's build quality, it would be that, you know, if you put it through, you know, a car bumper, I guess it's well made. Fred says, on the custom, every deployment is tuned perfectly. Well, honestly, knowing the price point, I would say that should be a given, but it's not. If you were to talk to, say, Lefty EDC, you know, Kev, the guy, one of the two brains behind D.VO knives, he would tell you that he's not a big fan of custom knives because you can always find some issue, the non-perfect issue that shows that something was made by hand, and that bothers the crap out of them. And when you start looking at the custom price tags, I get it, right? Personally, I don't have that hang up. I've only handled a handful of custom knives. And for me, I love the feeling of the soul that comes through that. You know, you could tell when you pick up a knife that is taken a large amount of time to be made by hand. A good example of that, the last one that comes to mind is the Sean O'Connell Mini Persian. And I know it's not a widely popular custom, but Sean O'Connell's customs have like a year or 2 years lead time. You got to be patient. You got to really want it. And then you got to pay $2,000. And the handle scales were perfectly contoured. I couldn't find a damn thing wrong with it. It was a loaner. It was loaned to me, and I loved it. The action was good. Everything was good. Everything felt premium. The grind, perfection. The lockup, perfect. The pocket clip, also contoured. Like, what? Sean O'Connell Mini Persian. I was very impressed. And if you guys want to know, Sean O'Connell Mini Persian. I'll give you an idea. Hey, look, there's my old video back in 2023. I just want to see if I can find an example. I might be barking up the wrong tree. Sean O'Connell. Yeah, it was basically this. It was basically this, but with titanium handle scales. Different pocket clip. That pocket clip looks wild. Different pocket clip. Same blade shape, though. And everything was perfectly tuned. Heavily contoured by hand. And you got to respect that. Look at how deep. Look at how deep that hollow grind is. Yeah, I would not mind getting one of those. But they're not cheap. They're definitely not cheap. Do they even have any for sale right now? Of course not. Of course not. Inball says, a lot of knives from the Chinese brands I like seem to be running out and not getting restocked. Like the stock of Kubis on White Mountain knives and CNWs are dwindling. You know, if you want a good knife made in China, this one has been easily my most carried knife in the last week and a half. I recently did a video on this too. This, of course, is the Reccomended RT Woodpecker in crystallized titanium. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. This guy is fantastic. Right now, recently released, I think they've got 13 left of these on the website. They also have it in blue if you prefer blue, but check it out. Like, there's no screws that are showing, and that is because it is one of their screwless designs. And so, you know, you press a little button back here on the backspacer, and then do I have it stuck? I might have it stuck. Hold on. There it is. And then the scale pops off. How cool is that? That's stupidly cool. It means that you got 2 show sides. They've only got like 13 of these left. It was really nice. Reccomended actually showed up in the last live stream that I did, and they did a live stream only discount code. And they don't normally do discount codes on newly released, already discounted new releases. And I think it brought it down to like $225. Fantastic. You know, crystal titanium for that price, unheard of. Unheard of. I guess unless you're looking at Tucson. But I can't think of a Tucson I'd rather have than this guy. If you really want to know what's been dominating my pocket recently, this has been really hard to keep out of it. Even more so than another recent one of my favorite releases from them, the RT Agile. Also a fantastic knife. This one is sold out. I knew it was going to sell out. I told people it was going to sell out, and then they sold out. Now people are like, why can't I find them? It's because they're sold out. Ed B says, Roll would love you long time if you cuddle up to that like button. Do it.
This is Sparta!
Ed B says, Roll sounded like Metal Complex for a minute. I haven't watched Metal Complex's content in a while, which is crazy. I used to watch all the channels all the time, and now I don't even have time to watch my own channel. I record it, and I'm like, well, hopefully I didn't miss something. I rely on you guys to tell me, you know, what should have gotten cut but didn't. Sometimes that's not a good strategy. Sierra Rick says, if you can afford a Polish-made blades, do you really care about a tariff? Ooh. I mean, when we're talking about tariffs on a percentage base, the more expensive the knife is, obviously, the more you spend on the tariff. That sucks. What really sucks is that it gets passed on to us, right? Like, it's supposed to put the hurt on the companies, but instead it's just putting the hurt on the consumers. Now, I read something that they might be rolling back the tariffs. They might be doing a U-turn on those. I honestly, I hope so. I'm not planning on that. I'm not banking on that. Most likely the tariffs are here to stay for the foreseeable future, but if they did roll them back, that'd be nice. Hey, welcome into Scott. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a channel member. Okay. And hey, shout out to John Blackman, one of the longer standing channel members at 17 months. John, you've been riding with the channel for 17 months and even longer than that. I know you were watching before I could even have a channel membership. Welcome into Gas Station Knives. Good to see you, man. He says, hi guys, I haven't been feeling very knifey lately. Hope you all are doing well. You know, we go through different phases, right? You know, there's times where I don't feel very knifey. When you say it like that, no matter where you're at in life, we'll be here 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Ian says, Reccomended looks like they're copying D.VO's homework. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'll give you an idea. I've got a D.VO knife on the desk right now. This guy, the mini growler. I love this knife. And I guess if you wanted to put these up Now keep in mind, I modified this one to have this pocket clip there. It's stock format. It has a wire clip. I mean, between those two, at least, not really. D.VO has never done a screwless design. I love me some D.VO knives. D.VO knives are awesome. The tall boy, incredible. The mini growler, incredible. The nip light, and soon to be the collaboration with the one I'm really looking forward to from D.VO is not even going to be from D.VO. They just licensed out the large nip, the nip L or the nipple, to Vosteed. So Vosteed is going to release that as one of their top liner lock collaborations. You know, like they did the collaboration with RS Knife Works, with Tough Knives. I can't wait to get my hands on a nip L, the large nip. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a bigger nip. We all like bigger nips, right? It's going to be a large nip with a top liner lock, which I think is going to be fantastic. I haven't heard any updates on that. Hopefully that still is in the works. But you never know. But no, I wouldn't agree with that. I don't think they're copying D.VO. All right. Hold on. Fred the Lug says, I'm actually playing with my D.VO Mini Buzz prototype right now. Love it. Oh yeah. You can't go wrong with the D.VO. My favorite D.VO to date has been the Tall Boy. And I know that a lot of you guys feel the same way. The Tall Boy is by far and away my favorite knife that I've ever handled from D.VO knives. It's absolutely an incredible carry piece. S90V, you can get it in titanium or camo carbon fiber. The price is right. It's well made. The Rockwell hardness is there. I need to sharpen mine. Hollow ground, it's primed. And if you really want to get the most performance out of your D.VO Tall Boy, the moment it loses a slicey factory edge, put your own on there. Hear me out. No steeper than 20 degrees per side. No steeper than 20 per side. I would say that heaven exists between 17 and 20 degrees per side if you're using a fixed angle sharpening system on the Tall Boy. Make sure to use a diamond stone. It's S90V at like 61 to 62 Rockwell. So if you try to use something that's not diamond stone, you're gonna have a really difficult time sharpening it. Use a diamond stone. But once you do that, once you convert to your own edge, fixed angle sharpener, 17 to 20 degrees, it will open up an idea in your head of just how good a super steel like S90V can be for edge retention. At that angle, that steel with that heat treat, oh man. Do it, thank me later. Gas Station Knife says, Tall Boy is my only D.VO and I agree with the hype. Great value and action is delicious. It's the way I see it is the Tall Boy kind of reminds me it reminds me of like the Craig Brown Cortex XL. It does. I'm not saying that it's a copy. It's obviously not. But the D.VO Tall Boy is like the people's champ, right? If the Craig Brown Cortex XL is, widely considered one of the great mid-tech knives that money can buy right now, the D.VO Tall Boy is the people's version of that, because not everyone can spend $850 on a Cortex XL or whatever, feel comfortable doing that. And even if they did, maybe they wouldn't feel comfortable carrying it. But for $200 you can get one hell of a knife in the D.VO Tall Boy, or at least if you got in on the drop you could. It's a fantastic knife. Ed B says, wasn't everyone fired from the IRS? I have no idea, man. Maybe they didn't pay their taxes. Evil E, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Fred says, I played with the nip large. It is great. The top liner lock is really high in the scale, real nice. Yeah, that is actually due to, if I don't know if you guys know JD. Many of you should know JD. JD for EDC. I think he changed his name to Daily Carry. He changed the channel name, but it's JD. Yeah, one of Kevin's friends was telling Lefty, he said, hey, if you would get some benefit out of this, if you moved the actuation higher up on the scale. And he was likening that to one of the Kaiser button compression locks. And apparently people that tried that prototype really liked it. So that's there to stay. I'm still looking forward to getting one. Will Vosteed send me one? I don't know. I don't care. I will get one regardless. They don't have to send me. I will buy it. If I have to, I will buy it. That is an easy decision. But I'm really looking forward to trying it out and seeing for myself. John says, is the Nip L going to be the same size as the Jaeger? Beats me. Beats me. Sierra Rick says, I miss Nick Shabazz. Why? Doesn't he still post videos? I'm going to look him up. Nick Shabazz. Nick Shabazz. I thought he was still posting videos. Did he go AWOL? No, he's still posting videos. Check it out. His last video was posted 4 days ago. A watch review. Look at that. You don't need to miss Nick. Nick's still doing his thing. All you got to do is start watching his content. If you want to see, like, it's so funny. Oftentimes I feel dumb when I say, oh, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Subscribing doesn't guarantee that YouTube's going to show you more of that person's content. You know what guarantees that YouTube will show you more of that person's content is when you watch a video from start to finish. So if you're subscribed to Nick Shabazz and you haven't seen a notification saying, oh, he's uploaded a new video, watch one of his videos from start to finish, and I guarantee you the next week you'll see nothing but Nick Shabazz videos. Guaranteed. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. I think that it has a ranking system for how valuable an interaction is. So at the top would be watch time, and then probably comments, and then after that, subscribe, and then the like button. They're all indicators to YouTube that you like a certain type of content. No single one of them is a guarantee except for watch time. If you watch an entire video from any channel from start to finish, all of a sudden you'll get a ton of recommendations for that channel. But yeah, Nick Shabazz still doing his thing. I haven't watched his content in a long time either. I might have to change that. Fred says, has anyone seen the new one-track mind Zorn? It is like a marriage of the Rob Johnson Cypress with the lock from Craig Brown. I have not. One-track mind. They made the Ire. One-track mind Zorn. I'm going to see if I can pull one up. Hold on. Apparently, I need to specify that it's a knife. I might just have to find him on. Yeah, there it is. All right, screen share. Here we go. Is this what we're talking about, Fred? Yeah. Oh, that looks good. I see what you mean when you say it looks like a cross with the Rob Johnsons. The Zorn. I might have to reach out to One Track Mind and see if we can get on the pass round for that. Is there a pass round? How do I get in on that? How do I make that happen? The One Track Mind Zorn. There will be international shipping for this release. There will be 2 lefty options. There you go, guys. There you go. I know my fat head is blocking out part of the blade. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's my fault. One Track Mind, of course, also did the Ire. Very popular release. front flipper, deployment hole. Is that an inset liner lock? S90V. Okay. Okay. Thumb flick. Compound ground. Looks good. I don't know if I'm sold on that pocket clip, but honestly, that's a small thing. Riot's going to be the OEM. Okay. I would almost say, you know, it's a poor man's Rob Johnson's, but you know, if it's made by Riot, it's probably still expensive. Hold on. John says, check out the new Pictus from Gecko Customs. You know, I've seen that. It's really aggressive looking, like, I'll just show you guys. Gecko Customs. Oh, that is not what I was looking for. Come on. Did they at least put it on their website? I'm looking for it. Yeah, okay, it's on the website. They're in pre-order. Very cool. This is a pre-order that was pretty tempting for me. And I'll show you guys. Boom, here it is. The Pictus. Look at that. That's a gorgeous blade shape. I love that it's got a nice arc, an overall arc. It means that it's going to fit well in the hand. It should contour well. Blind screwed contour titanium pocket clip. All right. Single side captive pivot. $240. Titanium and what else? Titanium and S90V. I love to see more S90V on stuff. That's great. That is great. X-Sailor says, Roll, you got to go dark mode on YouTube. I mean, I'm in classic mode. It's fine. Hey, welcome into the Matt D. What's up, Matt? Says, checking in for my road trip, just saying hi. Got to keep on keeping on, Matt. Drive safe, my friend. Let's go. Hey, welcome into Paul Mills. Good to see you, Paul. Gas Station Knife says, Shabazz should be a lesson in how to stay true to the review process. Good, bad, and ugly. But develop the reputation to have brands send him gear for honest opinions. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I try to do that, too. I try to talk about the things that I like and the things that I don't like. The hard part is that the more you try to find something, like there are some knives where I look at them and I'm like, you know what? I objectively can't find anything wrong with this knife. But if you don't say something, then people are like, they're shilling. They're a shill. But if you try too hard to say something, then all of a sudden you're trying to find an issue that isn't there, and people don't like that either. So you just got to give your opinion. If you're a review channel or if you're an unboxing channel, you know, if you're showing these things, just give your honest opinion. If you really like it, you really like it. People will see that. If you don't like it and you try to say that you do, people will see that. That's why I've been very, very picky on what I want to bring in for my review table recently. Like, I've turned down several review offers recently because, not because necessarily the knife was bad or that I thought it would be bad. I just looked at it and said, it's not for me. It's not my thing. And I think when channels try to force it and it's noticeable, that's when they start losing ground. Inball says, my favorite is when I Google something and then YouTube recommends me a video on it. Like, please stop reminding me that you're locking everything I do. Everything. What's even worse than that is when you're having a conversation about something and then you pull up your phone, you know, just to do something on your phone, and you see like advertisements based on what you were just talking about. And maybe you haven't searched for it or anything. Like, they're definitely listening. This is known, especially if you have the setting on your phone that's enabled that says, allow us to personalize ads. You know, just try it. If you have an iPhone, just start talking about something that you don't normally search for on your phone. Like, oh, you know, like outdoor gardening for lawn gnomes. And then, you know, the next 10 advertisements is Home Depot. Like, have you seen our new lawn gnomes? They're listening for sure. Fred says, Rollshambo, since I told you about it, can you get me on the pass around to... I don't even know if I can get on the pass around. It might be too late. It might be too late for me. Says, yep, like the Craig Brown inset lock. Oh, absolutely. All right, guys, I don't want to get too far down the line before we go over these pocket checks. So we're going to go ahead and dive into them. Starting off, I guess I'll start off. I mentioned it at the start. In the pockets today, carried this guy, the Vosteed Schillen Cutter. And then the second knife I carried was this one right here. Like I said, it's super hard to keep out of my pocket. You guys know, in the Only Spartans Discord, how do you get into the Only Spartans Discord? Become a channel member. That's how. This has been really hard to keep out of my pocket. There's something about that green crystal tie that is entrancing to me. You know, I might have ADD. It might just be that it's both sharp and shiny, and you know, I'll just sit here and enjoy. It's also a pretty good knife as well. That's what I carried. What did you guys carry? The Pons carried the Warney and Dellen K390 and the Clydesdale. Very nice. Awesome seeing a Clydesdale out in the wild. And the Indella. Very nice, man. Vivelsky coming in hot with a fantastic photo. He's got the CRK with... that's... What do they call that? They call it like the unique graphic. That's what it is. It's a unique graphic Sebenza. I believe that's a... No, that's a full-size Sebenza, unique graphic. And then the Wii... It says the Wii guy in case I need... I forget. It's one of the Wii knives that uses the super lock. I forget what it's called. Let's see, Ed checking in with the Remet RT Kestrel. Very nice. And then, of course, the Concept... This used to be my knife. You want to know what's embarrassing? You know when I've had a long day? When I can look at a knife that I sold, Ed B, and I forget the model name. For shame. For shame. It's a Coke Tools design. I know what it is. I sold it to him. Why is it skipping my brain? I'm just going to continue on in shame. Ed, glad to see that you like the knife, man. Very nice. Dazed is coming in hot with the Wii Hyphen. The Wii Hyphen is just one of those really, really aesthetically good-looking knives. Fred the Lug, he's got the Corbin Steelworks Aria. Is it Aria or Aria? I think it's Aria. Beautiful knife. Fred's got one of those collections that just makes other people jealous. So nice, Fred. So nice. Do they call that like dragon scale Damascus? Yeah, a dragon skin Damascus. Okay. Kevin Smith coming in hot. He's got... Which Rayot is that? He's got a Herman, and then, of course, the Rotten Evo. The Custom Knife Factory Rotten Evo. I love the way they do the brushed finish on those handle scales. I always thought that looked awesome. B. Devious coming in hot with the Spyderco Sage. in Rex 121. It's the Sage 5 and Rex 121. Are those the Pearson Blade Works scales? Sage 5 scales. Isn't it Pearson? Parsons. Dear God. I don't mind me. I'm just dehydrated. Parsons Blade Works. Interesting factoid. Parsons is in fact planning on doing new Sage scales for the Sage 6, which is going to be a button actuated top liner lock. Or excuse me, a button actuated compression lock. It's not top liner lock, that's Vosteed. It's button actuated compression lock from Spyderco. So when the Sage 6 does release, expect to see a little bit of a wait time. They're going to have to get one, and then they're going to build scales around that, which should be pretty cool. Parsons. Do they have these in stock right now? They do, I think. The Stonewash is in stock. Left, right hand, the Ripple. That's the one that I want. These look so good. In fact, I would say that the Parsons Sage 5 scales look better in person than they do in their stock photos. All right, I'm getting too distracted. Thanks for sharing, B. Let's go. Craig Vincent's got the 8010, the Swift 2, the Black Talon, the Cold Steel Voyager. Hold on. Which one is that? I'm not great. I was going to say I'm not great with cold steel, but tonight I'm just not great with knife identification in general. TC Blades got the... That's the... it's not the Sabertooth. It's not the Sabertooth. It's the Wolverine. The Monterey Bay Knives Wolverine, right? The smaller one. Cortex XL, gorgeous. The Geoknife Ethereal. Herman, is that a Herman Sting? Which Herman is that? I'm not identifying anything well today. Oof. Some of these look so good. Look at this. Look at this for a second. It's not a Sting. This one is in 707 Timascus Damasteel full dress. Oh. The things that they're doing over there at Herman Knives. Incredible. Very nice. Thanks for sharing. Jim Cox coming in hot with the McNeese PM Mac 2, the Chavez TAK, and a Boker. Is that a bolt action pen from Boker? Jim's got the Civivi Sentinel Strike, the CJRB. That's the mini pyrite. Okay. I thought, didn't they come out with one that wasn't the mini pyrite, but it was, I forget what it's called. And then the CRKT SPEW. Fantastic shot. Looks like you're having some decent weather, although I see some clouds in the background, Jim. Is there a storm brewing? Nice shot, man. Thanks for sharing. Matt coming in hot with the Koenig Mini Arius. That is a Mini Arius, right? Not a full size? I think so. I think that's the Mini Arius. He's got a Zippo. He's got the nice machine pen right there. Nick T's got, of course, he's got the CKF Evo. And then that's the Lantra, right? The Oaksworks Lantra. Yeah. I mean, I guess I probably could have just read the caption. I don't know why you guys put up with me, honestly. Ed's got today's full carry. Look at that. Look at that. I'm more interested in the wings. The wings and beer look fantastic right now. The Pond's got the Tri-Stash. Very nice. Good to see a Tri-Stash in the wild. Big Jim coming in with the 2 Urath V2, the Otter Messer Anchor, and the Vero Vortex Smoke Show. Very nice. This is the custom ultimatum. Like I said, Fred's collection leaves a lot of people with a puddle of drool at their feet. Ah, man, that's such a good looking knife. Ooh, speaking of knives that are drool worthy, there's a real grail right there. That is the Hawk Talon. And I know many people have been waiting patiently for their pre-order book spots to come in. Look at that. With the toggle lock. Yeah. Would love to get one of those. BK Obama with the Civivi Mini Banter. Very nice. Renee Ramon with the Kaiser Mini Mystic. I've got the same one. It's a great knife. Love it. Good shot too. Thanks for sharing, Renee. Gas Station Knives coming in hot with a knife that I am not familiar with. I know that's a Poikilo blade, but I'm not super familiar with their different models. I'd really like the machine work on those handle scales. Like, it'd be easy to miss if you didn't understand why that's impressive. But just look how the handle scales round over. I bet that is stupidly comfortable. Yeah. Sever 7 with another knife that I am not going to be able to identify. It's got some camel carbon scales on him though. Southpaw coming in with that's the Dark Bolt Designs. It's not the Arcus. It's the other one. It's the other one. I had one of these. I should know it. Why am I brain dead today? Stratus. I know you guys are screaming at me in the chat right now. I just need to be... apparently, I need to hydrate more. Let's go. One Sneaky B coming in hot. He's got the Sub Caliber and the Oz Machine Company Roosevelt. I love how the Sub Caliber is front and center. Mine's not far away. It's not far away. You guys might be wondering, how many knives does Rollshambo have on his desk? The answer is yes. Love the Sub Caliber. It's definitely in the conversation for Knife of the Year. Ooh, Sever 7 with the TW Price. That's the new model, isn't it? I forget what the new model is called. John Blackman means business. Look at that. Samurai Sword Collection. That's how you EDC right there. You know, blade length is not an issue. Nice collection though, John. I briefly considered getting into collecting swords because I love swords. And then I started seeing just how expensive sword collecting is. And I said, yeah, I've got one too many rabbit holes already. The Cassowary. I knew it. I should know. I sold you that knife. I should know. Welcome into Ryan Smog. Good to see you, man. What's up? What's up? Is it the Sabertooth? It's the Herman Mantis. I thought that one was the smaller one, the Wolverine. Apparently I'm getting the big one and the small one mixed up. Fred says, why does Parsons only make scales for the Sage 5 lightweight model? I want one for the Sage 5 G10 model. It's a great question. But I'll say this. There are other options for the non-lightweight model, just not from Parsons. Rip's Garage Tech, they're the other ones that make good scale replacement options, especially if the one that you're trying to replace the scales on isn't a lightweight. If it's a lightweight, go with Parsons. If it's a regular G10 model, go with Rip's Garage Tech. And I'll show you guys I have already planned out what a build on a Sage 5 would look like. And then I saw that the Sage 6 was going to be the button operated compression lock. So I shut that down. I still don't know if that was the best idea, but let's see. They've got some good options over here. Titanium scales, American made, 140, 150 bucks. And they're in stock too. Check it out. They got the angle parallel, deep angle, diamond. The diamond scales from Rip's Garage Tech always look really good. The featherweight scale sets. Yeah, assembled weight is based off of the original G10. I kind of want a set of these diamond scales. Do they have any Rex 121 Sage 5s left? Do they? Do they? I'm not expecting them to be out there. Out of stock. Okay. I'm not expecting them to be out there. I thought, hey, look, but there it is. There it is. There is still a few Rex 121 Sage 5s out there. This one at American Edge, 300 bucks. It's not cheap. That is not cheap. I have heard some people say that the Sage model is in fact better than the Para 3, and I don't know if I can get behind that. I don't know if I can truly get behind that. But I'm thinking this with where is it? With these scales could be killer. That could be absolutely bananas. What about the fingerprint scales? Those look pretty cool too. The Pyra grip. It's kind of like the diamond, but more aggressive. The diamond is going to be finer. The Pyra grip. What about the ripple? Whoa. 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 Far out. Might be a bit much. I might have to go with the Pyra grip if I was to do that. I don't know. This is getting dangerous, guys. When I start building out, listing out what I would do on a build. I mean, how cool would it be to have a cut test between a Rex 121 Sage 5 and the 15V Para 3? You can't tell me that wouldn't be badass. I kind of want to try that now. Paul Mills says, I like the black and titanium on that mini areas. Yeah, from Matt D. It looks good. It looks like it's got the patina, the stonewash of life on it. I like that. Jim says, that is my mini pyrite. You're thinking about the mica. I am thinking about the mica. You're right. You know, speaking of new knives that are being released soon, shout out to Knives Fast. What's up, Casey? Says the Dark Bolt John Doe. It was the Stratus. It was the Stratus. I'm just dehydrated. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Guys, if you didn't know, Tempest Knives coming out with the downdraft. I know people are excited about that. Fred says, Rollshambo, I have a Rex 121 G10 Sage 5 that I will sell you if you want. Contact me on Discord. Is it still factory fresh edge? Has it been cut with yet? I will reach out to you. I will. As soon as the live stream is over, I'll shoot you a message. Fred says, I agree Sage 5 is better than Para 3, especially with the Rex 121. It's interesting. I just want to know why people have that opinion. Like, what makes it better intrinsically? Is it lower edge angle? Is it that the build quality is better coming from Taiwan versus the Golden USA factory? Like, no one's ever been able to actually give me anything solid about why the Sage 5 is better than the Para 3. It's all been supposition. So I don't know. I don't know, but I want to find out. Craig says, lately I've been on a fixie roll. Really? I've been thinking about some fixed blades recently. Specifically, the one I've been thinking of. Gotta get away from Rip's Garage Tech before I do something that I regret. Specifically, the Jack Wolf fixie. Now, the one thing, and of course they sold out, except for the Rosewood version. I called it, guys. It was like 2 or 3 live streams ago. We were looking at the Jack Wolf knives fixed blades, and I said, just watch. They're going to sell out all of them except for the one with the wood handle scales. And I said this because I wanted to know why they didn't use the wooden handle scales as an opportunity to lower the price on one of the models. And I said, you know what? It would have been better if they had done that at $199 because these are not going to sell as fast at this price point. And sure enough, there it is, guys. I feel like freaking Nostradamus. I knew it. Not that that's a hard thing to estimate. Wood handle scales are not as popular as they used to be. And I know rosewood is a good hardwood for knife handle scale making, but I freaking called it. I knew it. They should have done this at $199, and I guarantee you that these would be sold right now. Now that I'm done with I told you so's, can you still buy them? Like the ones that everyone liked better than the wooden handle scales one. Jack Wolf. Jack Wolf fixed. Nope. But look. On White Mountain Knives, same story. Everything but the wooden handle scales sold. Jack Wolf. Vampire. Fixed. I'm going to see. Can you find them anywhere? Nope. These were available. It's not like they sold out instantly. Unavailable. Oh, here we go. Traditional pocket knives. So if you want one of these, apparently you can still get one with the titanium scales. Hand satin finish. S90V. Apparently traditional pocket knives you can still get. I see a lot of the rosewood handle scales available. I freaking knew it, guys. And I called it too. Jim says rosewood is not cheap. It's not. But when you're gauging the market, like, there's a reason why I knew that would be the only one left available, the only SKU, the only variant left available. Like, there's a very limited amount of people that want to spend $235 on a overseas made fixed blade with wood handle scales. You know, when we're talking fixed blades, you can get that made in America for that price with wood handle scales. So that's kind of why I was like, I had a feeling. Paul Mills says the Sage 5 has thinner geometry than the Para 3. There we go. B says Para 3 looks better in my opinion, but the Sage 5 cuts a little better. 15V Para 3 versus Sage 5 Rex 121 would be a cool comparison video. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would have to get a bunch of cardboard and like tape off a section of each knife for the cut test. Paul Mills says K390 joke at 67.1 HRC with crosscut jungle wear carbon fiber. Interesting. Ryan says the Militov fixie is stupid good. I've heard that. Fred says, isn't comparing knives all subjective? Sure. But you can compare performance. The hard part between comparing two different models from the same company that are made from two different factories is that you will end up with different results based on the geometry. One way to even the playing field on that would be to hand sharpen both knives to the same edge angle. So for example, do a polished 17-degree edge on each and then go ham. The reason why I'm really curious as to how that would perform is because when Pete from Cedric and Ada did his cut test with the CPM 15V Para 3, I believe he put his own edge on it. So he took away the factory edge. I think he brought it down to 17 degrees and it outperformed everything, including the Rex 121. So I kind of want to give it a shot. I don't know if I'm at the point where I want to buy one right now, which is why I started navigating away from, American Edge, where you can still buy one brand new. Fred says the Para 3 I would want is the one with the Rec reblade, with the front flipper and oval blade hole, and the RIP titanium scales. Oh yeah. The REK, I believe you mean REK. Rec Knives reblade. Those reblades they're really expensive. I'm on the edge. Welcome in. Good to see you, man. He says, I scored both of those new limited edition Militovs tonight when they dropped. Hooray. Hey, congrats on the pickup. Gas Station Knife says, rosewood is nice, but I prefer other woods. I wonder what is a more durable wood when we're talking about hardwoods. What's more durable, rosewood or ironwood? Or what is stronger, I guess? There's a wood hardness chart. Who knew? I didn't. Although this is, a site for guitars. You know what? We're going to cheat. We're going to use the search function. Rosewood. Nicaraguan rosewood has a hardness rating of 1540. What about ironwood? Apparently they didn't list it. Oh, 830. Okay. So apparently rosewood is harder than ironwood. That's interesting to me. But ironwood is generally stronger than rosewood. Not that it matters. Most people aren't going to take their knife to the limits where you'd actually need a stronger handle scale material anyways. Always liked ebony. The one I like is mahogany. Have you ever tried to chop mahogany wood? This is the biggest pain in the neck. In the Pacific Northwest, my old stomping grounds, we ran into what's called mountain mahogany, and mountain mahogany will ruin your chainsaw. If you try to cut down mountain mahogany, it will ruin the teeth on your chainsaw. There was a point in time where I did wildland firefighting, and while we were waiting to get called out on a fire, we would have to do what was called brush piling. Brush piling is basically selective cutting and then clearing, and the Forest Service would give us like this plot of land and they'd say, we need you to cut X, Y, and Z type trees, make sure that you leave this much space, and it's a preventative measure to make it so that areas don't burn down from lightning strikes as easily. So it's basically preventative cutting maintenance to maintenance the forests. And every time we got in an area with mountain mahogany, our sawyers would absolutely bitch about it. They would complain and it took forever. Mountain mahogany, cutting mountain mahogany is like cutting a rock. But yeah, makes me wonder, has anyone made any mountain mahogany handle scales? Maybe I should buy some. Craig says, this past week I got a Carbon Garberg, a Seal Pup Elite, and an Ontario Spec Plus Alpha, and a Cold Steel Spirit Spearhead knife. Very nice. It's quite the week. Gas Station Knife says, keep in mind that the stabilization process to wood scales makes it harder. They typically impregnate it with resin. Interesting. I have no idea what that means or what that equals performance-wise. All right, guys. All righty. Well, we're going to go ahead and call it right there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for the Wednesday live stream. When will we be live again? We'll be live this coming weekend, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be doing it at the regular time, regardless of what the Lakers' schedule looks like, I promise. We'll be going live at the regular time, 8 p.m. Mountain, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 p.m. Pacific. If you want to hang out and talk with me more about knife scales, about what knives are hot on the market right now, feel free to become a channel member. Join us on the Only Spartans Discord. If you do, I'll see you soon. But for everybody else, we'll see you later.